I wanted to make this video in regards to my TMJ, which stands for temporal mandibular joint disorder, or joint, it's in this area right here. We have joints that connect to the skull right here. I wanted to share my story from when it started to where we're at today with it, and yeah. So I got braces whenever I was 15, and they removed they're called premolars. I had 2 extra at the top, 2 at the bottom, which I believe some dentists are now like not touching them and not having them removed. Some people have small mouth to work with, others have wider mouth or bigger mouth. So I don't know, but I wish I would have kept mine. Who knows, that might have influenced my bite differently. I don't know. Since we're talking about my molars that were removed, came out looking like a fang. And I wish the dentist would have removed that one that looked like a fang versus the one that came out natural, just normal. That one came out normal, and he removed the one that looked like normal versus the one that was like looking like a fang. And later on I asked a dentist, I was like, why did he do that? He could have just removed the one that looked like a fang, and I would have kept the other one next to it that looked normal. And that dentist told me, well, some dentists like to do things by the book, follow the book or whatever, rules of the book. Yeah, I was pretty upset about that because now they made it look normal to fit with the rest. I'll kind of get up close and show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so you can't tell, it's like this one right here, you can't tell if I point it out, you have to get real close, but I'll do that in a bit. And yeah, they just filed it down, kind of like made it even pointier, and then they added some material, but they made it look just like the other tooth so it could look normal, if not I'd have just like a fang looking teeth. And I was not okay with that. Even though it looks cool, but I'm not okay with that. So yeah, I'll get in close and show you. It's this one right here. You'd have to be up close and I'd have to show you. Other than that, like, people don't know. They wouldn't be able to tell. So I had my 4 teeth removed. I got traditional braces. Then the popping of my jaw started towards the end of the treatment. I would be in class, and one day I like yawned and my jaw like got stuck. I was like freaking out because I was like, what if I can't close it again? Like that was scary. That gave me anxiety. I did let the dentist know, but he was like, oh, it should go away. Like he kind of dismissed it, didn't care. So I was like, okay, but it never went away. It just got worse and worse and worse. So then after that, I experienced a lot of locking, like clicking and locking. If I would open my mouth so wide, it would lock on me. It was pretty scary. A lot of like clicking, especially on this side. And I was no longer like opening, just like, just opening. I had to like open, but it was such a weird way of doing it, like this, like it was weird. If I would talk, it would feel uncomfortable. Like there was a discomfort there. Like I had to click or move my jaw in a certain way for it to feel comfortable after every like sentence. I just had to constantly be doing that, and it was annoying. So one day we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll never forget that. I ordered a burger. Usually I'll always get wings, but I ordered a burger that day, and then I took a bite. My jaw like did something weird. Like I felt it dislocate from the left side. It was weird because I didn't feel any pain. This left joint right here was outside of the socket. I couldn't roll my R's or S's, and it was kind of hard for me to talk in a way. It was so weird. It was giving me issues with speech. It was weird, and I don't know why I didn't go to the doctor immediately, or somewhere emergency at least. But yeah, after that everything spiraled and got worse. My wisdom teeth decided to start coming out, and that sent me through some pain. started to move like all the other teeth, especially the teeth upper right side, just shifted everything. And that was even painful because I couldn't even close my mouth, couldn't even eat properly. I couldn't even sleep because it was so painful. It was horrible. I decided to go to a clinic nearby, and I met with a physician assistant. She was young and dumb because I was hoping she would have a solution, like, oh my gosh, yeah, your joint, I can feel it, it's outside of the socket, you know. But she didn't. She just touched and she was like, oh, you know, here's a sheet for physical therapy, just do some massages on yourself and like that'll help, you know. A cool pack or whatever, medicine, just like Tylenol or ibuprofen. Take that and just go home, and that was it. And I was so upset because I knew the joint was not in its socket. I knew something was wrong and it needed to be taken care of, you know, along with like my wisdom teeth coming out. And I thought the first thing to do was like try to put it back in place and then take care of the rest. So then I got in my car. I was really pissed and I started crying because I didn't know what to do. It was so painful. I lost so much sleep. It was horrible. It was just really bad, a bad time. It was horrible. And I sat there in my car and I was so mad that I just went like, bam. Kind of punch slapped it back into place. It was crazy, but I feel like that was worth it. I feel like I needed to. I feel like if I would have gone to the emergency room, they would have probably tried putting it back into place. But I'm glad I kind of did it myself, because even that was a scary moment, because I put it back into place and immediately I like started trying to like move my jaw and it kind of jerked a bit, because like it was trying to get into place, like used to the new position again, you know, since it had been out of the socket for a while. I guess it was just adjusting, so it was very weird whenever I was opening and closing. It was horrible. And yeah, I went home. Okay, so now after doing that, I started to feel pain, soreness, just warm, overall like really warm. Since it was now in a new position. Now the thing that I was dealing with was my wisdom teeth coming out. So that was another thing. I still couldn't sleep because the teeth were still like not aligned. Like one of the molars was literally flipped outwards, and you can imagine that's just horrible, not right. So then to the dentist, I had to go maybe 4 times, because every time I would go back, like, please remove the wisdom teeth, just remove them, you know? But the problem was when I popped back in my jaw, you know, my jaw kind of like shut. So like it was so weird. It's like I couldn't feel that I couldn't open it as wide as I used to be able to, you know. I couldn't even fit a finger. Like I couldn't even fit this finger. When that happened, when I popped it back into place, it was somehow kind of like shut. So they gave me antibiotics and I went there again, and we sat in the chair, have my wisdom teeth removed, and they couldn't get in there. So then we had to cancel. I still couldn't get it to open wide enough, you know, for them to extract the wisdom teeth. I practiced trying to like open my mouth, like get it to open more. So I would kind of like put my fingers in there, try to like do some therapy on myself to try to get my jaw to open more, because it was very like shut, like it wasn't opening. I wanted to eat food, but I couldn't, and that was really upsetting because I couldn't get a full piece of solid food in my mouth. That was another thing I was dealing with. So I had to eat nothing but jello, soups, anything that was easy to process and eat. So I was also dealing with that. I wasn't able to eat solids up until 8 months. Well, finally I got myself to open as wide as I could. I was able to fit probably barely 2 fingers or so. Somehow the dentist was able to extract the wisdom teeth, so that was out the way. But now my teeth were still messed up, so I was still left dealing with still pain, still couldn't close my mouth right because of the turned teeth. So now I had to find another solution to fixing that as well. It was really bad. It was horrible. So yeah, so I had to find a solution. And my next solution that I thought of was, I'm gonna need braces again. Gosh, but I don't want traditional braces. I did not want traditional braces. So I kind of looked into alternatives, and yeah, I came across Invisalign. It was a better option if you have TMJ versus having metal just pull everything and hurt you. I feel like the metal did pull and hurt my sensitive joint that was already sensitive and made it worse, you know. So I did not want to go back to traditional braces, so I went ahead and opted for Invisalign. I found one near where I live, and we were gonna start treatment. His idea, he wanted to put tissue expander at the top of my top palate to expand, and then Invisalign. I did the down payment to get the treatment started, but then he calls and he says, you know, I'm gonna recommend you to an orthodontist that deals with that more. He went ahead and recommended me to another dentist nearby. So then I went to the dentist, he did some x-rays, and yeah, we started the Invisalign treatment. The moment I started Invisalign, oh my goodness, it was a relief. My jaw just started to feel less inflamed, a lot better. Those Invisaligns, the top one had like what's called the turbo. So it created a space so that my teeth would never actually have to touch, you know, and cause pain because they couldn't touch in the first place. They were so turned that they just could not meet or touch. So that caused a huge comfort when I got the ones with the turbo. I started getting better. My bite started to get better and better, and relief. It was such a good relief. I was able to sleep a lot better at night. Finally, towards the end of the treatment, he decided to remove the turbo from the top aligners, and so that changed things a bit. I started to feel that my teeth now were, how should I say this? They were in a position where there were some pressure points, and I wish he wouldn't have filed them, or I wish I didn't know this. I wish he would not have filed them, and I wish I would have told him, you know, it's fine, we're not going to file them, we're going to find a way around it, you know. So I kind of filed the teeth a little too much because I was like, maybe it's the pressure points, maybe it's the pressure points, keep filing it down. You know, I feel a little pressure point here, this one hits this one here, file that little one down, file this, file that. So we filed my teeth, you know, and I wish I wouldn't have done that. Do not file your teeth unless it's just a minimal thing. Towards the end of the treatment, my teeth, my midline still does not meet in the middle. Like my midline does not meet in the middle like it should. And with traditional braces, it did. However, it pulled too much. It was gonna cause like pain. I know it was gonna cause pain. So that's why I opted for Invisalign. But you know, the computer says, okay, your teeth, your aligners are gonna have your teeth sitting down perfectly in the midline. However, Invisalign, I feel like if you have, like, there's something wrong with your jaw, the way it sits, it will never, like, your teeth will never align to midline, if that makes any sense. So I was still in pain. Like, how can I fix that? Like, it's just weird. I keep on filing down my teeth, but it's not making it any better. Well, so this is another thing. I think I'm adding some things here. It's a lot of things, but I just want to put all this information in case it helps someone, you know, in regards to Invisalign and then my jaw history and all that. You know, towards the end of the treatment, I started to feel pain again and issues because they took away the turbo, but my jaw was not aligning. Like, the Invisalign made my teeth straight again, as you can see. It made them straight. However, because of the way my jaw sits or is, it does not meet in the middle. The midline was not meeting in the middle, so the Invisalign would go into place, but it just wasn't sitting or fitting right. So my idea, people don't want to alter their aligners, I'd say alter them. Do it. Go for it. Because it has given me relief. Okay, but before that, okay, so we finished treatment finally. I was still like, why am I feeling pain again after they removed the turbo? I even asked the dentist, like, is there any way we can just keep the turbo? Because I feel comfortable with the turbo on the Invisalign. Because I feel that's comfortable for me. I had already gotten used to it. It was comforting for me. I felt super comfortable. But after, towards the end, it got taken away. So we could get off of Invisalign. That wasn't an option. So I finished Invisalign. He made me aligners made in home, like in his office. But they were too thick. Very thick plastic material that was like super painful. Like popping them in would hurt, and they would cover, they would even go up to the gum line, and it was just so, they were so uncomfortable. We tried several times. He redid them again. He thought maybe it was something having to do with my sensitivity. I told him, I was like, do you have anything that's kind of like Invisalign? I really liked the way Invisalign felt. It was much more comfortable for me. The plastic was just so thin and just comforting, you know? Is there anything like it? And he did. He mentioned Vivera, which is what I have now. He mentioned that Vivera is the after treatment to Invisalign. So then I was like, I'm all for it. Let's go ahead and do that. I want to get Vivera then. If it's just like Invisalign, I mean, why not? So I went ahead and opted for Vivera. They look just like Invisalign. These are pretty bad. They're like dirty, worn, and used already. I have a new pair, but these are still good, you know, until I lose one or break it, you know. But I could always go back and get some more. Vivera. Oof, I don't know if you can see them. But yeah, here's the liners. They look just like Invisalign. This is Vivera. It even says Vivera right there, and it has some numbers. But this is what I used to sleep with. These are my retainers. But it's really thin. Thin little plastic. This is what I used to sleep with. It's very comfortable. To this day, this is what I used to sleep with. I cannot sleep without them. They give me so much comfort. Sleep with these at night. I add magnesium to my water. I get Botox. That is where we're at today with my TMJ issues. As far as eating, during that time, whenever I had my wisdom teeth taken out, even whenever I was on Invisalign, I feel like I had to train myself to eat right again, and even like swallow with the straw, take my time eating, because somehow my muscles got tired. It was like you're chewing gum, and when you're tired of chewing gum, like you start getting like spasms, and this felt like I chewed a ton of food and it got tired. I was still hungry, but I couldn't continue eating, so I had to take a break. So yeah, that was my struggle with that at that time. It was horrible, and I would cry because I love food, you know, but I just couldn't eat certain food at that time. That to me felt like, in comparison to people that have jaw surgeries, it's almost like kind of going through the same thing. It was crazy. It was weird. But yeah, that was my experience. So yeah, as of right now, it's been pretty chill. I have little poppings here and there. It's kind of weird. Whenever I chew food, I tend to hear it more on this side now. I started to feel like this side started to hurt. Now I had TMJ on this side as well. But another thing that I haven't mentioned. I read that some people would leave Invisalign, back to traditional braces, because they would say that this, like the cutout would cut them, because they just cut them out with a laser, I guess, and they give it to you, but it's still like super sharp and it cuts you sometimes if you don't like do something to them. The way I fixed that issue Okay, so my recommendation, if you ever get Invisalign or Vivera, get a filer and file off the edges. Make them smooth, you know, like you're filing down your nail. File down your edges, and believe me, it makes them smooth and it makes them comfortable to wear. If you just buy like a filer with the, what is this, 220 extra fine grit, this thing, you just need like a little piece, you know, until you feel like they're not sharp anymore. Another trick as well, part of your plastic is cutting you on the gum area, like this one touches your gum and it causes discomfort. You can file it down. You can definitely file it down. Don't be afraid to do that. It's not going to move or shift your teeth differently. I did it and it's fine. It is okay to do it. I've seen some people saying that because of that discomfort, they went back to traditional braces. And I'm just like, cut it down. I would use sometimes a nail clipper to kind of take them little extra. There's some little pieces of plastic that stay in between the grooves, or in between where they're cut out, and I just cut them. I follow the shape of it and cut it out, like in between the little groove thingies. Cut it out, you know, anything that helps to like make them comfortable. And then you use a filer to just file it down and make them smooth, and they're super smooth. So yeah, if it touches your gum or bothers you, file it down. It does not disrupt the way that they're gonna sit in your mouth or fit. It makes them, if anything, even more comfortable. So another thing with pressure points, instead of filing down your teeth, I would suggest, mine have holes because I filed down the holes. Sometimes the plastic is way too thick that it actually ends up feeling uncomfortable the way it sits. So you can manipulate that yourself. It gave me comfort. It's helped me. It's really made a huge difference. So I don't know if you can see here. I'm trying to get this to show up. Let me see if I can put it here. So I don't know if you can see, but it has like little holes here because those are the areas where there's like pressure points that were still affecting and hurting my bite. Even with them in my mouth, they were hurting my bite. And that was uncomfortable. So I took matter into my own hands, used this filer, and just started filing away. Started to file it, even if it created a hole. I would file them down and then put it back in my mouth and test it out, see how they fit and sit in my mouth. And I did that until I felt that it was comfortable for me. So that's what I did. So what I did was, and I know it's not recommended, but if it gives you comfort, why not? It didn't change anything. If anything, it made it comfortable for me to wear them. It's okay to break the rules sometimes, because other than that, you're going to be stuck with the dentist telling you, well, I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help you. He doesn't go to his house feeling the pain that you feel. So you got to make things better for yourself. So anyways, so I'm going to try to see if I can show you. So what I did is, hopefully it shows up. So this right here, I made a little cutout. I didn't cut it all the way. I don't know if you can see it, but there's supposed to be plastic across here, you know, but I actually cut it lower. Nothing's gonna change. It still aligns with the rest as long as you don't disconnect or cut all this out. Don't do that. But just cut out a little bit that feels discomforting and fix it. Make it better, you know. Don't be afraid. Try it out. That's why we got multiple Vivera aligners. But yeah, once I did that, man, it was so much comfortable. Didn't move my teeth anymore, and if anything, now that I talk without them on and without having to go through that every day again, you know, put them back, put my aligners back in, have the tooth move back, and then when I take them off, I'm talking and it would just clash with the bottom. It would create a pressure point. You go to the dentist, they want to file it down, right? That avoided that problem. I didn't have to file down that tooth. I just let it move a little bit because of the cutout. I let it move a little bit. It works great for me now. Because of the cutout, it allowed it to move into a comfortable position where now I put in my aligners back on and it doesn't hurt, you know, but it's still aligning with the rest of the teeth. Oh, another thing, you can definitely take these to your dentist, and if there's like maybe one of these is also causing, like, let's say when you put it on, the inside of it kind of causes like a little pressure or whatnot, you can tell the dentist like, hey, can you file it from the inside? The dentist will be nice enough. There's this dentist that I go to get my teeth cleaned and whatnot. We were talking about that, and I told her where I was feeling some discomfort as well, and she went ahead and got her little filer and went in and like filed down the inside of it, like the inside, and it fit way better afterwards. So you can definitely do that. So yeah, that's where we're at with my TMJ. See if this can help someone, put everything in it, and hopefully help someone that's going through it. So yeah, thanks for watching.